I remember I had a really big issue with that in V3 on the third murder, the double murder of V3, with Korekio.
Now that I think about it, wasn't that the third route? What's going on? They're all dead ends!
And the reason I had such a big hang-up with it is because the way the murder was plotted out and executed was so beyond fucking illogical to me, and the way it was carried out was absolutely, utterly, ridiculously dumb and made no sense.
What does it mean, Shinigami?
And I remember that the logic they used in several places was very, very weak. And every summation that I came to, like everything that I predicted wasn't accurate, which is fine because that's part of the mystery and that's part of the magic to these games, is being wrong and not understanding things and the way things were plotted out, and then finding where the holes in your logic are and being humbled and being like, okay, my analytical skills were not as strong as they should have been. Like, that's part of the fun of the game. And I don't get mad about that. I do get mad, though, when I have to redo a segment over and over and I don't understand what is happening, or why, or what reasoning they're applying. And I feel like with a little more context, or like a little bit different wording, that could be easily circumvented. But the way things are worded, and the way things are delivered, and the way things are phrased or paraphrased are a little bit off sometimes.
We have to view this case from a different perspective.
So are we going to do a top-down kind of thing?
What's that?
An elevator? Oh, it's a tower.
That's your different perspective.
It's a tower, right?
Oh.
Are we gonna climb it? Is this gonna be a new minigame? Is this gonna be something that we haven't seen yet? Oh, wow. Oh, that is fucking cool. We can defy gravity?
Walking on another side.
Well, if we keep moving...
That is so neat. That's what I was talking about. Like, this game is so magical, dude. Like, this is cool. This is so neat. The perspective shift being a literal physical thing?
Look, it's a new route.
That's so neat. This is something that Danganronpa could have never done. And that's why this shit is so cool. That's why I was saying it's cool to see how these are manifested and explored in 3D space. That's one of the innovations that I was talking about. It adds a whole new dynamic element to the game.
The question is, why did this happen? I guess we're on the why done it route.
White done what now?
Oh, is this where we're gonna find the motivation for the crime?
It's about the reason why the case occurred. Meaning, this is the route where we seek the motive.
Yes, okay.
Looks like we need to focus on figuring out the culprit's motive from here.
Yeah, I know cases always deal with
See, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not poor at deducing things. I'm poor at mental reasoning and pathing sometimes. Because, like, sometimes the setup is not as decisive as you want it to be. Or it's not as decisive as you expect. Like, there's certain things in the reasoning death battles that I can, instantly be like, okay, I know it's this thing. And then there's other thing where, I'm like, it could be like 5 things, and I just have to go through them and trial and error one by one until I get the right thing with the right thing. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind the mental legwork. I like the mental legwork, it's fun. Oh, this is like, have any of you ever played Ocarina of Time and gone to the Forest Temple with the Wall Masters? That's what this shit reminds me of.
Was she cute?
Yes.
She was alright.
But more importantly, she was next in line to be star of the theater club.
See, this shit is so fucking cool. I love this kind of stuff. This is really neat.
So the culprit was envious because she was so
It's cool to see that this game is just like Danganronpa, but like with its own nature, with its own dynamic, and with its own tone. It's really neat.
Hey, who are you calling simple?
And I'm afraid this game is going to be a one-off game, but I really don't want it to be.
Top actresses dying one after another.
Like, it's actually legitimately mysterious. Like, it really lives up to its nature. And I think that's really cool.
Her death was ruled a suicide by jumping off the stool, but Kurumi doubted that was the case.
Rumi, huh? She's alright.
Alright? Anyway, I doubt it's a coincidence for people to die in such
So I doubt I'm gonna get double S on this. I think I fucked up far too much for a double S rank, but I might be able to still salvage an S out of it. And even if I get an A, I'm okay with that, but some of the reasoning they've used is kinda shaky and kinda weird. So now we're gonna figure out what the motivation for this crime was and how Aiko's death happened. Oh, it's Aiko herself.
Is that Aiko?
So we're actually finally gonna figure out the truth behind Aiko's death with this.
Oh, she's cute too. Let's go talk to her.
Calm down there, boy.
Get a taste of my full and
Somebody besides me
undivided
needs a dog
attention.
leash, I think.
You can already tell women will be his downfall.
No shit.
Oh well, it's not like you're
We might
anything
have
wrong
another
with
mystery to
what's
fucking
really
deduce
master.
when the fucking girl that he sexually harasses ends up murdering him. So by exploring the question, what was the motive for this murder to happen, now we get to see how Aiko's death came about.
Was that Yasuhiko?
What did we learn? Oh god. Oh no. Please just be a running segment. Okay. Oh no. It's not over.
This is bad. The ground's giving way beneath our feet.
Yeah, I've dealt with this before.
Yeah,
What you got there is a case of false crumbling ground. It's not good.
Aiko.
Hey, let's hurry and catch her. I love the tragic types.
You love any type.
No! We're trying to figure out the truth behind her death.
Dude, I bet Yuma's getting so tired of his shit at this point. He's like, bro, come on. Please. Don't be horny on main right now. Like, I need you to concentrate. I need you to focus. Oh, it's more this jumping shit. Homicide. Bam. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Aiko's death 6 months ago was actually a result of murder.
It had to have been. Why the investigation? This game's whole premise is murder. It has to be a murder. Where was Aiko murdered? On the rooftop. Why?
This is the answer!
Bam. Oh, really? Really? She was murdered in the garden and not... I thought she was pushed off the roof. Why would her shoes have been up there? To just make it look like she fell? Really?
The location of Aiko's murder is the flower bed.
Wait, what? This is another example of what the fuck I was talking about. They're talking about the location of the murder where the body was found, but the murder was executed from the roof, correct? That's what I mean by, like, shaky reasoning and bad setups. What weapon was used? A brick from the flower bed?
This is the answer!
She had a concussion or a contusion on her head, right?
The brick with
If she
Aiko's
was
blood
poisoned,
had a
she
very
wouldn't have had an
unnatural
external
splatter
injury.
pattern. After the culprit hit her with the brick, they returned it to its original position.
Who murdered Aiko? I'm gonna say Cotton on this. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Cotton on this.
Aiko's
It
death
was
not a
Cotton.
suicide by jumping, and Cotton clearly lied in her testimony. Cotton killed Aiko.
So she was the murderer then. I fucking
All right,
knew
let's
it.
keep following her, Yuma.
I wasn't sure, but I had a feeling. Usually my instinct is pretty strong, except for when it isn't. Which is
Tell
often,
Aiko's
but...
death wasn't a suicide from the evidence photos. Her shoes were neatly placed on the roof, but there was dirt on them that looked like it came from the flower bed.
Right.
I think Aiko was told to meet at the flowers behind the school building and then murdered there.
But that isn't to say that Aiko couldn't have stepped through the flower garden and then went up to the roof and then committed suicide. She could have just left her shoes there and jumped off the fucking roof without her shoes.
So the shoes were taken to the roof afterwards.
That's also equally surmisable, but like, again, it's shaky. Like, the reasoning doesn't make sense.
It's likely a brick from the flower bed.
Oh, I see! I didn't think about the brick being loose before. I thought she just fell off the roof and smacked her head on it. But now that I'm looking at it, if she fell off the roof, it's more likely that the blood splatter would have been in a different place given the velocity of a body falling and plummeting that distance. Especially if she was pushed. It's way more fucking likely that the brick was just used loosely as a fucking instrument to hit her in the back of the head with.
The brick with Aiko's blood on it had a very unnatural splatter pattern.
So that must mean that Aiko's murder occurred in the flower bed and not on the roof at all. And they just made it that way to make you think that, because if Aiko was hit in the head with the brick and then pushed from the roof, there would be blood on other bricks. You know, like, you could put the brick back where the blood splatter would have been if she happened to fall in the same place, but it's not worth the risk of 2 different blood splatter patterns.
If she fell from above and hit her head, the blood stain wouldn't get cut off in that way.
I didn't even notice that before. And it does neatly cut off where the brick is loosened.
I'm sure that after the culprit hit her with the brick...
That's so fucking cool! This is the shit I'm talking about. This is the shit I fucking love. I love this. I love it when they do shit like this.
Do you have evidence that Karen did it?
Like, the fact that you go and explore one line of thinking just to have it have occurred in a different manner is so fucking cool. I love that.
I get it. Hearing a sound that never happened means she's obviously lying. Karen lied. And the reason why she lied...
That's so fucking neat. I love that shit about these games.
If that's the case, then the one who killed Aiko
I
is
really do.
Karen.
It's an infatuation that I've always had. Ever since I first played Trigger Happy Havoc. Fucking love this series. So the question now stands, did Karen murder Aiko just to get the spotlight, or was there a deeper reason for it?
Damn it! I can't even help the girl who needs it most!
Does it involve Kurumi at all?
Help her?
Maybe there was a
She
jealousy
dead
aspect.
long before you can help her. Anyway, this must be the roof Aiko supposedly jumped from.
Hey. Why did
Also,
Karen
I'm sorry, but
kill
like,
Aiko?
anybody who commits suicide by jumping has a lot of balls.
I thought an all-girls school would be
'Cause
more
that shit is
sunshine,
scary to think
rainbows,
about.
and murder.
If a brick was used as the murder weapon, then it could have been an impulsive crime. So Karen might not have been planning to kill Aiko when she called her there.
But how would she know what brick was loose to grab?
You mean they were talking and it turned into a crime of passion? That's so cliche.
That's why I thought that Kurumi might have had some direct involvement in the murder of Aiko. Not in an incriminating way, but like for a motivation
Maybe
kind
they were
of thing.
discussing their acting careers. They had a disagreement, and it turned to violence.
Well, if this
It is
caused
an
the other
all-girls
murder
school.
case,
If I'm like,
then
I
is
know
the
I talk about
motive
lesbians. I know I talk
revenge?
about Yuri all the time because like I'm in love with lesbians. I just am. Right hand on the Bible, hand to God. But maybe the motivation was more than acting. Maybe Karen had an interest in Kurumi or something like that. And maybe because Aiko was her best friend or whatever, they got into a spat with it.
Yeah, they weren't fighting over Aiko's spot. They wanted to get back at Karen for taking it away.
Meaning, the culprit is whoever cares the most about Aiko? Then, which of the suspects is it? In fact, where do we even go from here? We got the motive, but there's still no path.
This is different from the other dead ends. I think there's a mystery around here.
Something must be hidden here.
This is so fucking cool. Okay, I see. We're gonna have to explore the roof. So now we're gonna find evidence of something else that we didn't have before. Okay, so this is a rarity. This has never happened in a Danganronpa before. This is different. This is not something I'm used to. The wind feels nice. It's hard to believe we're inside a mystery labyrinth.
Whoa.
One of these days, I'll have a concert on a stage this high, looking out over my adoring fans. Yeah, you keep on dreaming there, buddy. You can't hit on girls and you can't play the guitar. Maybe you can play the guitar, but not as well as you can hit on girls and get turned down. What does Shinigami have to say? Kinda curious.
This place.
So high up, we're even above the clouds. Better be careful not to fall.
Hey!
So you're saying you don't want me to push you? Or...
Hey!
There is no or. I definitely don't want you to push me. Wait, so what am I looking for here exactly? Do I just go back through the door? No, I don't just go back through the door. There's got to be something here, but what? I've looked at everything. At least I had thought. Is there something that I'm missing?
Hey, check it out!
Is that the how roots we were looking for?
We're so high up. When did this happen?
Master, look over there!
What is that?
It doesn't seem connected to anything else.
Is it a neighboring academy?
Which means that could be the Who location.
So the true culprit is over there then? But how do we reach it?
No, because said the only...
To any other route.
They said the only school in the area was the Academy of Etheria, right?
What, are you freezing up? Scared of heights or something?
No, Desahiko's gonna do something badass.
Oh, it's not that. About those 3 routes.
A pen? You carry that around with you all the time?
Is the physicality of the roots not what we thought it was when we explored them before?
Of course. Who knows when I'll be asked for my autograph? Done. Isn't it perfect? I'm just as good at drawing maps as I am at remembering a pretty face.
Oh, it's all 3 lines lead down the one path.
This is the how roots when seen from above, right? What about it?
Well, this is a dungeon, right? So maybe there are some secret paths in here.
Wait, so if all 3... I get it, so all 3 lines of reasoning lead to the same answer, so we must have to forge our own path and jump to conclusions on certain things to build a new one to actually reach that area. Is that what this is representing?
See, if you look at it this way, doesn't it all seem like the same road?
You're right. The 3 how roots are connected into a single route all the way to the who room.
Right.
Wait, all 3 are connected? That's it! I think I've got it! That's the hidden truth behind the how route. There's only one explanation for how the victim could have been poisoned.
What? Seriously?
Not bad. You finally made yourself useful.
Yay! Shinigami
Yeah, maybe
got
she'll
me.
give you a handy after the labyrinth if we make it out of here, if you're lucky. And you
I
don't
love
piss
you,
her off some
Shinigami.
more.
Wasn't I a good
Damn
boy?
it.
I deserve a treat, right?
Dude, me and Desahiko are not so
Back
different.
you up.
I'm infinitely less horny, but...
Lay it all out.
Oh, great. She had an accomplice! She had an accomplice, didn't she? How long is this word? How long is this word? It's accomplice! I fucking knew it!
Let's work together as a team.
It's Accomplice, dude. Look, there's MP, there's AC, there's O, there's LI. It's Accomplice, Chief. It is. I knew it. God, I'm good. Like, sometimes I'm bad, and sometimes I'm fucking amazing.
That's right.
I knew it.
You go, go, go.
There was an accomplice. This is really challenging because it's putting on display my ability to spell as well. I'm illiterate as fuck. I'm more illiterate than I'm worse at playing this game. Oh wow, hell of a shot. That was worth it. I deserve a shot that good for figuring that shit out so fast. I deserve that. Nice, okay, that's redemption right there is what that shit is. Damn, I'm good. I fucking love this game.
That's right. Accomplices. The truth of this case is that Yoshiko, Waruna, and Kurane were all accomplices
Right.
who committed this crime together.
Accomplices?
I fucking called it.
Don't they hate each other's guts?
It's the truth. I realized it once you drew this map.
Because if you separate them and they all end up at the same answer, that must mean that they all had the same level of involvement is what that means. I was saying that before with the stage. I was saying the only way this could have been possible given the time frame and the conditions of the fucking murder taking place was there had to be more than one person involved because no one person could have done it.
Each of them were suspects, but they were all ruled out because of certain details of the case.
Right.
That makes sense. If we look at them separately, we get dead ends.
But if you look at them all together, you get one road.
Connecting all three routes like this, and looking at it as a single criminal act, it clearly becomes one path forward.
They were accomplices that committed a single crime.
That's why I said we had to jump to a conclusion. Given the physical manifestation of the island being somewhere that's inaccessible to us from here, that must mean that metaphorically we have to come to a conclusion that is impossible because there's no physical path to get
This
there.
murder would have been impossible to commit alone. We
Exactly!
figured that out during the How route. But if the three of them worked together, they could make it possible.
That is so fucking cool. This dynamic is so good.
What's this?
I guess we're supposed to break the wall? Sounds like fun. I'm in.
It's all thanks to my help, don't you think?
That must be the truth.
And don't you forget
So we're supplied with the tool to be able to make this possible, now that we've come to the mental conclusion and its accuracy.
Going to forget it.
Anyway, let's check it out.
Dude, I
We have to
fucking
make
knew
sure
it!
We're on the right track.
Kamikaze. Bam.
Master got blown to pieces.
Oh.
And that's what happens when you use a sacrifice spell.
I didn't know!
You died, so it's game over. Time to return to the title screen. Well, that's what I want to do. But I'll give you one more try and take you back to the selection. Be sure to pick the right one next time.
Okay, so I have a feeling they're all just gonna be Zoom. And, like, these are just for jokes, so I'm gonna do them every time they become an option. The dialogue is too fucking funny to ignore.